What's up everyone? In this video, we'll look at the concept of psychological time. So how much time are you spending in the past, present, and future? And this is a concept that I really enjoyed exploring and also something that I'm really happy I kind of discovered. So psychological time, what is this concept? What does it mean? Basically, your thoughts can be divided into three time frames. So your thoughts can be about the past, your thoughts can be about the present, or the future. The first thing we need to understand is that the past and future do not really exist. They are creations of our mind. The only thing that exists is the present moment. So your mind can bring you back in the past or project you in the future. But all of this is happening in the now, in the present. So when you think about your last poker session, maybe you've been ruminating on some past mistakes that you've made. You're in the past. And when you spend time thinking about what might happen if your downswing continues, well, you're in the future in those situations. So where do you spend most of your time? You spend most of your time in the past, ruminating on your mistakes. You spend most of your time in the future, anticipating what might happen. Or are you able to stay in the present moment for a long period of time? That's probably the most challenging one. So let's look actually at the past. So the past is all the experiences, the memories that you've created over time. It's also your identity. So your past is what makes you who you are. Who you are is based on the accumulation of experiences that you've had in your life. But what are those experiences made of? Typically, when we think about our past, it's either nostalgia or rumination. So nostalgia about things that we have accomplished, and rumination about past mistakes, things that we wished we would have done differently. And as you can imagine, the emotions that are typically attached with the past are anger, frustration, some regret, the emotion of disgust, right? So shame or guilt about things that we might have done, sadness, nostalgia about something that is now over. So when you spend time in the past, you can also notice yourself using words like, I should have done that, I could have done that. You're ruminating about your past. You revisit the past to not repeat the same mistakes again. So some of the phrases that you might tell yourself, I'm so angry for making that mistake. I should have gone to the gym instead of sleeping in. That's your shame or guilt speaking here. I should have known better. I'm so stupid. So this is what spending time in the past looks like. We're thinking about our mistakes, or we're nostalgic about things that we've done in our past. Now let's look at the future. The future is all about the anticipation of things that might happen. We project ourselves in the future. And when you think about the future, what kind of experiences come to mind? Probably there's some sort of uncertainty about what might happen. There might be hope for better things to come. So this is what the experiences in the future look like. But what about the emotions? When we think about emotions related to your future, well, here we're talking about worry, anxiety, fear, even hope. So hope for a better future. So the future has not happened yet. However, you're already experiencing these emotions in the present moment while you're projecting yourself. Does that make sense? So the more time you spend in the future, the more uncertainty, worry, and anxiety you will experience right now, in the present. So all the concerns, worries, and anxieties, all forms of fear, are caused by spending too much time in the future and not enough time in the present. if we take some time to actually look at what kind of narrative you have when you think about the future, the narrative sounds like this. All the what ifs. So what if I fuck up my opportunity? What if I stay stuck in makeup forever? So these are the types of thoughts that you might have about the future. And then you have those about, once I do this, once I accomplish this, once I get to 100K bankroll, I'll be satisfied. I will have made it. So until you reach this point, you won't be satisfied. So you're projecting yourself in a better future, and until you get there, you can't be happy or satisfied with yourself. All right, so here I'm clearly painting a bad picture about the past and future. However, they both serve a very important purpose. So let's look at how we can use them in the present, and let's look at how we can spend more time in the present as well. So, present time. The purpose of spending time in the past, even though we can change it, is to make sure that we learn from it, from the past, and that we don't reproduce the same mistakes in the future. So that means, let's think about poker for a second. That means tagging hands that you're not sure or that you think you made a mistake so that you can review them later when you have more time. And so basically here we're taking care of any rumination about hands that you've played in the past that you're not sure if they're well played or if you think you've made a mistake. So until you review these hands, you're going to think about those hands. You're going to ruminate about the mistakes that you might have made. Make sense? So let's look at the purpose of spending time in the future. The goal here is to anticipate some of the obstacles or barriers that we might face and plan accordingly. So maybe we prepare our sessions in advance, we try to anticipate some of the obstacles, and then we start our session feeling in control with more certainty. And so maybe you want to schedule all your tournaments that you plan on playing on a typical day. Want to plan how much money you put on the line. Try to figure out if it's within your risk parameters. Are you really willing to risk that much money playing that many tournaments or playing that high of a cash game, for example? And so what we understand here is, once you've learned from the past and once you've planned enough for your future, you want to try to then spend more time in the present. But how do we do that exactly? But first, something to realize that in the present moment, there's no past to ruminate about or no future to worry about. There's just this one moment. So here we're talking about feelings of equanimity and peacefulness. Equanimity is a word I discovered roughly 2 years ago, and it basically means mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in difficult situations. So equanimity, mental calmness, composure, and evenness of temper, especially in difficult situations. I think this is such a powerful word when you think about it. And let's talk about some of the anchors that we might have in the present moment. Anchors are something that, or here specific to the present moment, we're looking for things that are only happening in the present moment. So your bodily sensations, your breath. So you could bring awareness to the body to reconnect with the present moment. How do you feel right now? What do I feel in my body? Or you could bring awareness to your breath. So your thoughts can be about the past or future, but your breath only happens in the now. Like you can't breathe in the past or future. The breath becomes an anchor of the present moment because it only happens in the now. So if you want more about these two, you just refer to the sensation section that we discussed earlier for more information on these two anchors. And you can also use some of the strategy we've just talked about, like mental noting, to notice your current experience. So what you are experiencing in the now. If you're doing a mental note, you're present in that moment. Or you could also use an object as a focus of attention in the moment. Could be something on the wall, could be your mouse, your keyboard, anything that can make you be in the moment. Maybe when you're walking outside, your object of attention is your feet. So those are some examples of anchors that you can use to come back in the present moment. All right, so living in the now. I'd like here to try an experiment with you as you're listening to my voice. So we'll try to live in the now for a short moment. Because what we might realize so far is that spending too much time in past or future creates suffering. The rumination, the anger, the shame, the guilt, the regrets, the worries, the anxiety, the fears, all of this creates more suffering. However, something that you might feel and understand as we're doing this, there is no suffering in the present moment. So let's try to understand what that means. So what I'd like you to do right now is sit in a comfortable position. So let's start there. Find a comfortable position and close your eyes whenever you feel ready. So sit in a comfortable position and close your eyes whenever you feel ready. We're going to stop for a minute here and try to experience the present moment together. You can focus on your breath, you can focus on your abdomen, your nostrils, and you can also focus on my voice if that's what you prefer. And the question I have for you in this precise moment right now, what is lacking for you to be satisfied with your life in this present moment? Is there something missing from your experience right now? Close your eyes, take deep breaths, and listen to my voice and ask yourself this question. Is there something missing or lacking in this precise moment with me? As I'm talking, realize how the mistakes of the past no longer matter. There's no regret, no anger, no sadness, no shame or guilt. There's just the present moment. And everything about your future, the worry, anxiety, and fear, they don't exist yet. So we are in the present moment right now. So live the present moment with me right now. Focus your attention on your breath or my voice, but that's the only thing going on right now. No past, no future, just the present moment. Alright, so I'd like you to come back to this new moment, this new present moment with me. Reconnect with my voice if you've been in your thoughts or if you've been focusing on your breath. And so how do you feel right now? Now that there's no longer a past or future, just this present moment, how does that feel? And for trying this experiment once in the mental game seminar, some of the response were about feeling lighter, feeling calmer, more relaxed, feeling good, feeling at ease. So hopefully you've got some of these sensations as well going for you. So this is what it feels like to be in the moment, to be in the now, to be in the present moment. And now that we've done this together, I have this massive challenge for you to literally, or for the rest of your life, to try to spend more time in the present. So try to catch yourself when you're ruminating about the past or thinking about the future. And every time try to bring back your attention to the present. So step out of the time dimension as much as possible. and notice how often your attention is in the past or future. And just observe the thoughts or the feelings when that happens. Because every time you observe the thoughts or feelings, you're present. You're in the now. So that's what's presence look like. And the moment you realize that you're not present, you're actually present in that moment because you're realizing. The aha moment, the realization, the observation, the awareness only happens in the present moment. All right. So I feel like this is the perfect place to, actually I feel like this is just the perfect place to wrap up this bundle. But before we end this, let's look at some of the principles related to mindset and thoughts, just like we've done for the 3 other elements of performance. And so if we're thinking about principles applying to thoughts here based on what we discussed together, first one, this idea of growth mindset, if there's one thing I'd like you to remember is that if you're not there, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough yet. You're not there yet. That just implies that with enough work, enough patience, perseverance, you're gonna get there. So let's try to bring back some hope in your situation, believing in yourself and your capacities to succeed and grow. Perspective. So we talked about 4 perspectives to face different situations, different difficult situations. So we can use the lens of a challenge. So this becomes a challenge that I'm going to try to overcome. Maybe you're going to use the lens of learning. So this is, what can I learn from this situation? And whenever you feel like there's nothing that you can change about your situation, put on one of the 2 lenses from the bottom. So what can you be grateful about in that situation? And try to realize that this too shall pass. All right. Watching the thinker, 2 things to remind yourself. Observing the mind instead of identifying with the mind, and using mental noting, so trying to note our experience as a way to detach ourselves from our experience. And finally, there's no past or future, only the present moment. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for listening in, and take care, everyone.